Did you know there's a continent so cold it makes your freezer feel like a tropical beach? Welcome to Antarctica, the coldest, driest, and highest continent on Earth. Today, we'll be diving deep into 10 mind-blowing facts about this icy wonderland that will completely change how you see it. So grab a warm drink, get comfy, and let's journey to the bottom of the world. First up, let's talk about size. Antarctica is huge. It's about 1.5 times the size of the United States, making it the 5th largest continent. During winter, it gets even bigger. The sea ice around its coast expands, effectively doubling its size. Imagine a continent that grows and shrinks with the seasons. This massive ice sheet holds about 90% of the world's ice and around 70% of its fresh water. If all that ice were to melt, global sea levels would rise by a staggering 200 feet, or 60 meters. It is a powerful reminder of just how critical this frozen giant is to our planet's stability. Speaking of ice, here's a fact that sounds like science fiction. Antarctica is technically a desert. Yes, you heard that right. A desert is defined by its low precipitation, not its temperature. The interior of Antarctica, known as the polar plateau, gets less than 50 millimeters of precipitation a year, which is even less than the Sahara Desert. It's so dry because the air is too cold to hold much moisture. So, next time you think of a desert, picture vast plains of ice and snow, not just sand dunes. It's the world's largest and coldest desert now. You might think a place this extreme would be completely barren, but you'd be wrong. While there are no trees or shrubs, Antarctica is home to some incredibly resilient life. Below the ice, in perpetually dark and freezing lakes, scientists have discovered microbial ecosystems that have been isolated for millions of years. One of the most famous examples is Lake Vostok, buried under more than 2 miles of ice. These life forms survive in conditions we once thought were impossible for life to exist, giving us clues about what life might look like on other planets or moons in our solar system, like Jupiter's moon, Europa. What about something a little more spooky? Ever heard of the Blood Falls? In a remote, frozen valley, a waterfall mysteriously pours out bright red water, staining the white ice of the Taylor Glacier. For years, scientists were baffled. Was it red algae? Some strange mineral deposit? The truth is even cooler. The water comes from a subglacial lake, trapped for millions of years. This water is incredibly salty and rich in iron. When it finally seeps out and hits the air, the iron oxidizes, or rusts, creating the dramatic, blood-red color. It's a spectacular and slightly eerie natural wonder. Dedicating the entire continent to peace and scientific research. The treaty prohibits military activity, mineral mining, and nuclear explosions, making Antarctica a massive scientific preserve. A place where scientists from all over the world work together to understand our planet, from climate change to astronomy. Collecting meteorites that have fallen over thousands of years and depositing them in specific areas called meteorite stranding surfaces. Scientists have collected tens of thousands of meteorite samples from Antarctica, including some from the Moon and Mars, giving us priceless insights into the formation of our solar system. Think a place this cold is silent? Not at all. Antarctica has its own unique soundscape. The ice is constantly moving, groaning, and cracking. And then there are the winds. The katabatic winds are a phenomenon unique to places with high ice sheets. Cold, dense air from the high interior plateau rushes down the slopes towards the coast at incredible speeds. These winds can reach hurricane force, sometimes exceeding 200 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour. They are some of the most powerful and persistent winds on the planet, shaping the landscape and making human exploration a serious challenge. Despite the harsh conditions, Antarctica does have some year-round residents, but they're not human. While scientists come and go, the only true permanent inhabitants are tiny invertebrates like mites. Tardigrades, also known as water bears, and a wingless midge, which is the continent's largest land animal at just half an inch long. That's right, the largest land animal is an insect. Of course, the surrounding ocean is teeming with life, from krill and fish to seals, whales, and the iconic penguins. But on the land itself, life is small, tough, and incredibly specialized. Let's warm things up a bit, because believe it or not, Antarctica has active volcanoes. The most famous is Mount Erebus, the southernmost active volcano in the world. It's one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a persistent, bubbling lava lake in its crater. Imagine a pool of molten rock in the middle of the coldest place on the planet. Underneath the West Antarctic ice sheet, there's a whole volcanic mountain range. with nearly 100 volcanoes recently discovered, while most are dormant. The heat they release from below could potentially destabilize the ice sheet, which is a major area of research for scientists studying future sea level rise. Finally, for our 10th fact, let's talk about time. Or rather, the lack of it. Because Antarctica is situated on the South Pole, all the lines of longitude, which we use to define time zones, converge at a single point. So, what time is it at the South Pole? Technically, it's all times at once. In practice, research stations usually adopt the time zone of the country that operates them or the time of their nearest supply base. For example, the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station uses New Zealand time because its supply flights come from there. It's a practical solution to a very strange geographical quirk. So there you have it, 10 incredible facts about Antarctica. From being a giant desert and having blood-red waterfalls to hosting active volcanoes and existing outside of time zones, this continent is full of surprises. It's not just a block of ice at the bottom of the world. It's a dynamic, mysterious, and critically important part of our planet. Its secrets are helping us understand climate change, the potential for life elsewhere in the universe, and the very history of Earth itself. I hope you enjoyed this chilly journey. It's a continent that captures the imagination and reminds us of the power and beauty of the natural world. What fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the amazing and unknown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.